Makoto Shishio is meant to be the true antagonist of the Rurouni Kenshin series, and for good reason. He is Kenshin Himura's mirror opposite in almost every way, as well as a cautionary tale to Kenshin himself. If you're not in the know, the series is about a former assassin and soldier during the Bakumatsu era of Japan named Kenshin Himura, discovering found family while also dealing with his inner rage issues over the course of his life during this time in Tokyo. And to understand the character of Shishio, you must first understand Kenshin as he was during the Bakumatsu War, Hitokiri Batosai. Hitokiri simply means manslayer, and was a title given to men with the specific task of assassinating officials whom the revolutionaries that were fighting against the shogunate deemed worthy of killing, basically. This is also a historical fact as well. It was something that actually occurred in Japan's history. In the anime, however, a teenage Kenshin was the most feared and dangerous of these assassins. However, after accidentally killing his wife Tomoe during one of his rages, he sets out to eventually renounce killing altogether, and is his first step on the path to leaving behind the shadows of the Kyoto underworld that he was a part of, and becoming a full-fledged foot soldier and occasional bodyguard. However, the leaders of the Meiji Revolution still needed an assassin. They still needed assassinations to be carried out. Enter Makoto Shishio. The two never met during the war, but they had heard of each other. Shishio was regarded as being just as good as Kenshin in the art of killing from the shadows, but at the same time lacked any moral conviction. He was not only ambitious, but enjoyed killing others. While Kenshin could kill targets without remorse, he still had a core set of values that kept him from becoming a total psycho. And it's this single aspect that sets the two of them apart, because Shishio is essentially what Kenshin would have become had he not left the world of assassinations behind, including what actually happened to Shishio after the war. In that, after replacing Himura as the revolutionary's top assassin, he himself is set up to be assassinated by his own leaders, because basically he knew too much and they considered him to be too ambitious. It says a lot about how Kenshin's leaders actually saw him and other Hitokiri as well, and that they would have done this to him as well had he not retired from his assassination role, as his master had actually warned him about before they went their separate ways. Regardless though, Shishio survives despite being left for dead, with his body burnt almost beyond recognition in an attempt to hide the evidence. Thus, since his enemies believed him to be dead, he uses the status to build up a criminal syndicate of other psychos and wartime rejects who eventually take over the Meiji government as both revenge and to bring back the rule of the strong. Now, what makes Shishio such a great character was that he also had his own set of nuances as well. Yes, he was a psychopath, having no problem killing others himself or ordering others to do it for him, even for the most trivial reasons. However, he wasn't mindless about it either, usually having some sort of overall strategy in place before he acts. This is because, 1, his injuries, which somehow greatly increases martial arts, also limited now how long he can fight before his body literally burns out. And 2, that he is no longer just a lone assassin anymore, but the head of an organization. A warlord, if you even want to call him that. And, following the pattern of a dark side Kenshin Himura character, Shishio also finds a found family of sorts. That is, his lover, Yumi, and his top assassin and apprentice, Sojiro, who I think also could double as a found son of sorts, as well as his right-hand man, Hoji, who is something of a simp, but at the same time was gifted at what he did, organizing his criminal underworld. Also, too, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Shishio actually respects and perhaps even likes Kenshin, both as a Hitokiri and even somehow as a pacifist ronin, even regards the latter as something of a ridiculous option. It's just that, essentially, Kenshin Himura is in his way, And the same applies to Saito as well, whom he also respects as a swordsman and a veteran of the Bakumatsu Wars. Now, though by the end of the Kyoto arc, Kenshin does defeat him, it's only barely, as both characters have upped the martial arts to another level, but Shishio was still bigger and stronger than the lighter and shorter Kenshin Himura. Now, while Kenshin is the trope of the repentant killer, Shishio is the cautionary tale of the unrepentant killer and what can happen if they don't change their ways. That is, as the old saying goes, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And this saying perfectly fits Makoto Shishio, as well as how he chose to live his life and how he died. But otherwise, what are your guys' thoughts? If you've seen the Rurouni Kenshin series, did you like the character of Shishio? And did you think that he was a better swordsman than Kenshin himself? Or even a better character overall? Do you think that his revolutionary leaders were right in trying to kill him beforehand? Or that it was an injustice done to him that basically set him on his criminal ways afterwards? Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, this is Fictional Mindbender, and you guys have a good day.